Hello and welcome to SA Weekender. On today's show we've got plenty of things for you to see and do, plus delicious ideas to tempt you from all around the state. I'm going to show you some of my favourite Middle Eastern restaurants. Here's a taste of what else is in store.
Bryony's in high spirits over our award-winning gin.
Oh my God, that's good.
And what House Rules contestants Jess and Jaron love about Adelaide. But first, let's join Kelly.
The countdown is on. There are only 12 more sleeps until our biggest, brightest, most bedazzled celebration hits town. I am, of course, talking about the Adelaide Cabaret Festival. Put on your glad rags and bring your sense of adventure and fun, because this year you'll find more than 55 acts to enjoy at the Adelaide Festival Centre. In her third and final year as artistic director, Ali McGregor has secured some big names she's been wooing for a while.
Patti LuPone is one of those. She's just a legend. I'm so excited that we're getting her out here. John Cameron Mitchell is another one. He's just this cult favourite with so many people. Leah Delaria, she's a really fantastic jazz singer and comedian. So I think that's going to be a surprise for people who know her from Orange is the New Black.
A former principal soprano with Opera Australia, Ali followed her heart and became a cabaret chanteuse. It's a passion she shares with so many South Aussies.
They have so much in the summer with the festivals. By the time it gets to June, they're kind of needing their fix. Cabaret just suits winter. It also suits drinking really good wine, and Adelaide has some of the best wine in the world, so I think it is a perfect marriage.
With a mix of 330 international, national and local performers, the genre celebrates being intimate and raw.
We're so used to now watching everything on TV and everything's been edited and we're being presented with the best version of it. What I love about Cabaret is sometimes the mistakes are the best parts. I love Cabaret virgins. I love, bring them to me and I will welcome to the wonders of Cabaret.
Cabaret has always pushed boundaries and embraced social change. So the theme this year is Eyes Open. To create the festival's signature artwork, Adelaide's own Mariana Mezic was the perfect fit.
I wanted to have something with some really strong eyes, and no one paints eyes like Mariana. It is International Year of the Women, and I thought it was important for me to have that represented, that really strong female focus, yeah.
And as a mum to an 8 and 4-year-old, Ali wanted to let the kids in on the fun too. So Masters of Mayhem and Slapstick like Tom Flanagan are also on the program.
I just wanted shows that you could really bring the whole family to and everyone enjoys. I just asked them to, keep some of the words on the lowdown, and keep most of their clothes on. That's all they have to do, yeah.
The Adelaide Cabaret Festival is being held from the 8th to the 23rd of June. And even if you can't catch a show, you'll find pop-up food options galore and free entertainment at the Winter Garden. Well, it looks like this year's festival has certainly got the goods. It's going to be a whole lot of fun, so don't delay in getting your tickets. Just check their website for all the details and get ready to expect the unexpected.
Coming up, why the world's got a taste for SA's gin.
Thanks, baby. That's all right. Gin has a history that stretches all the way back to the Middle Ages. Although I don't think it looked much like this back then. It was more used as a treatment for gout and stomach ailments. It also has a strong connection to Holland, hence the term Dutch courage. But right now, you could be forgiven for thinking that Adelaide is the centre of the gin universe. Oh my God, that's good.
But our renewed fascination with this intoxicating delight didn't begin in Adelaide at all. This is the place where our new obsession took off, a rustic shed in tiny Cygnet River, Kangaroo Island, home of the first boutique gin distillery in Australia, KI Spirits. And it's a hit worldwide.
This gin is so different. It's a different flavour, different taste, and it's damn good. Lots with juniper, in there, which we enjoy.
John and Sarah Lark have been distilling here for more than a dozen years, and they now have not one but 4 varieties of juniper to add to the intriguing native botanicals that lift their spirits, so to speak. Their efforts have impressed the gin junkies, gaining national and international accolades of the highest order across several labels. But for the Larks, it's still a small family affair. Son Lyndon has developed his own syrup to make the all-important tonic water. And believe it or not, Great Aunt Mary plays a part too. She's long gone now, but has a very beautiful, shiny copper still named in her honour. Strangely, she didn't even drink.
In 1910, on the 14th of February, I don't know if it was a coincidence, being Valentine's Day, she signed a temperance pledge and never had a drink. So in 2010, we broke the drought for Auntie Mary and made our first mulberry gin. And I know she wasn't...
She must be spinning in her grave.
Well, no, because she was an old spinster aunt who lived with her brother, who was a politician who drank whiskey every night. She wasn't against it, she just chose not to. It was the fashion in 1910, but we felt it important to break the drought for Auntie Mary, and this is a good way to remember her.
Over the last decade, about a dozen boutique distilleries have emerged in South Australia, and gins are starting to claim significant space on the drinks list.
What is it about gin and why has our love affair with it been rekindled?
Look, gin offers a much better variety than a lot of other spirits. You have your base sort of botanicals we talked about, juniper, coriander, angelica, traditional gin, and after that everything else is its personality and character. It's like you could never have one wine, you could never have one gin. You have a different gin for a different purpose.
Well, we can't let that go unchallenged, can we? So, in the name of research, we're back in the city at the Prohibition Liquor Company Tasting Room in Gilbert Street, where co-founder Adam Carpenter is piloting me through a gin flight to showcase his award-winning array.
So we have our original gin, 42%, a delicate contemporary take on a London Dry. Served as a gin and tonic, it's just magic. Flavoursome, easy to drink, beautiful. We've got our bathtub cut, 69%, the strongest in the Southern Hemisphere. It's a rich, intense, essentially a cocktail gin. Because it is a cocktail gin, we then showcase it in our all-Australian Negroni. It is an Italian classic cocktail. This one's all-Australian.
In true bootleg style, Prohibition began as a couple of mates distilling at home, though not actually in the bathtub. Now they export and have picked up 16 international gongs. Not just for the gin, but for the innovative packaging as well.
Essentially it was to be a huge hip flask, this beautiful oversized hip flask. So good luck getting it in your pocket, but it does look beautiful on the shelf, and it is about a bottle that speaks before you pick it up.
The boys decided to take the business from the backyard to the street, and the brand new tasting room serves simple but scrumptious food built around South Australian produce. And if you happen to tire of gin, well, you're tired of life, I say, but wine and beer are available too. But wait, there's more. Coffee, right next door.
So the guys from Tell Henry have set up coffee here. It means that when I get here in the morning, my coffees are ready to go, but it means that anyone can come in. This site is live from 7 o'clock in the morning, it's a buzz. And we just continue that through the afternoon and the evening with the gin bar.
You'll find both Prohibition and KI Spirits online. Check for opening hours and special events on social media.
Now, if you need any extra encouragement, June the 9th is World Gin Day. What better excuse to get out and about and taste South Australia's finest.
After the break, I'll spice up your life with some exotic winter warmers. Winter is just around the corner, and for warming, fragrant dishes, you can't go past Middle Eastern food. So I want to show you some of my top picks. Now, Melrose Park might not be the first place you'll look for cracking Lebanese dishes, but that's exactly what you'll find at the Middle Store. Here, cook Rose Adam and her family serve up breakfast and lunch with their special twist. Locals are drawn to the cafe for its relaxed, friendly atmosphere and, of course, Rose's cooking. Using locally sourced ingredients, she puts her own modern spin on traditional favourites.
What I love about your food, Rose, is it looks so colourful, it looks so fresh, feel like I'm going to be really healthy after I eat this. What have we got here?
So we've got our beetroot hummus dish, we've got our little falafel salad, and we've got our pea hummus. We like to play with hummus. We also have a...
This is the modern Lebanese thing,
Well, this
right?
is the modern Lebanese thing. We have a pumpkin hummus too that we do in winter as well.
What does your mum think when you have all these crazy modern twists on things?
She doesn't understand. She was a little sceptical at first, but I think when she tried everything and she could understand what we were doing, she's totally on board now.
Awesome. Now, I couldn't come to the middle store and not try and learn a few tricks of the trade from you, Rose. What have you got here?
Well, of course, today we are going to be teaching you how to make za'atar. This is the ingredient that every Middle Eastern household has on stockpile 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
First, put some oregano, sesame seeds, sumac and salt into a bowl, add some olive oil, give it a mix, and now you've got a simple flavour-packed spread ready to rub into meats or breads.
I have to say, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Next stop is an Adelaide institution, Parwana Afghan Kitchen, which is owned by the Ayubi family. Garnering awards and accolades from all over Australia and indeed the world, it's no wonder they need 2 seatings a night. And the woman whose food people flock here to taste is that of chef and matriarch Farida. Parwana's success is a credit to their talent and hard work, because in 1987, they had to flee Afghanistan during the Cold War.
The recipes that we cook here are just very old, traditional Afghan recipes, and a lot of that knowledge has, I think, been lost through the cultural disruption that comes with war and that kind of thing. So for us, it's very special to have my mum cook that food, and for all of us, my siblings and I, to learn how to cook that food too.
So tell me about this recipe.
This recipe we call it bolani, and it's a pastry. Some of them is stuffed with pumpkin and spices, and some of it green leaves.
And this is your favourite dish, is that right?
This is my favorite dish.
Ah, awesome. Can we try some?
Please.
I've got the pumpkin one. It's got that lovely kind of sweet mashed pumpkin filling, nice crisp pastry as well, and that yogurt and meat just cools everything down as well. That is delicious. I can see why it's your favourite.
Parwana regulars will notice the interior has had a makeover and they've expanded into another room. Still keeping its homey feel, photographs from their past are proudly displayed. Working as the restaurant's host every night, Father Zelmai will tell curious customers their story.
This is my wife, this is her sister. It is very important to explain to the people, who am I?
Yeah.
What sort of family I am? Why I'm here, no?
Yeah.
Because of problem we had in country. I explain to them everything, yeah.
Through their food and own spirit, the Ayubis share their homeland's rich culture with everyone who enters.
Afghan food is, I think, a really beautiful surprise. Afghan tradition is very much about hospitality and making guests feel like they're at home. It's just really wonderful for us that, people have taken to our food, and, that's never lost on us.
So for my top 5, joining Parwana and the middle store are Le Souk, Balabusta and Lavosh Bakery Kebab Shop. You'll find all the details on our website. And if you know some great Middle Eastern food spots too, spread the word and the love on our social media. Next, we get to know our House Rules contestants, Jess and Jared.
For SA House Rules favourites Jess Dover and Jared Petrenko, a visit to Henley Beach is a welcome breather from the wild ride of reality television. So today, I've arranged to meet them at Melt and see how they're travelling. G'day guys.
Hi, how you going?
Good, thank you. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks for hanging out.
Yeah, of course.
Congratulations on the competition. How's it all going? Is it everything you expected?
Well, to be honest, I never really watched anything like this before, so I didn't really know what to expect, but it's a lot harder than we expected, that's for sure.
Yeah.
No stranger to hard work, Jared played almost 80 games for the Adelaide Crows. Thankfully, Jared still plans to pull on the boots for the Eagles and the Sandful after the show. But compared to the pressures of professional footy, you'd think a stint on House Rules would be a walk in the park. What's harder, renovating or playing AFL football?
Playing footy is just something I did my whole life, and it was something that sort of came natural to me. So you get injured and you play average at times, and there's not cameras right in your face and people asking you questions constantly.
So playing footy in front of 50,000 scrumming fans is easier than this?
Oh, yeah, I'll take that any day.
Jess, a qualified primary school teacher, applied for the show for the opportunity to turn Jared's rundown lad pad into their stylish forever home. Tell us about the house. Is it everything you expected?
It is. It is amazing. You still get blown away thinking about the transformation that the teams can do in 7 days, and it really is 7 days. It blows you away, and yeah, we're so lucky and happy with it. We like the large open spaces and the raw textures, the timber, the brick, the leather. I feel like you see those in all those New York kind of lofts, so that's kind of where we're going with that.
Speaking of impressive transformations, our venue today has also been recently reimagined as Pizzeria Melt upstairs and downstairs fish and chipper Sea Salt. Designed by Studio Graham, it's been shortlisted in the Australian Interior Design Awards. I wonder what the judges would have to say about this space.
I love the design of mountains. The first thing that I noticed when I walked in, you really do notice all of those things now. I think Wendy would really like this space though. She's all about spaces feeling easy and working. I think she would love it.
Jared, channel your inner LLB, what would you say?
Oh, well, there's probably not enough flamingos and everything hanging off the walls, I don't know. But I guess one thing that I've learned is just taking advantage of, I suppose, your surroundings and look at the beautiful view that this place has got. That's one thing I think this place does really well, so it invites people here, is this view.
This view is something that Jared knows well, having grown up in the area.
I went to school right around the corner from here, so I spent a lot of time down here at the Henley Jetty in the summers, and a lot of jetty jumping back in the day. I don't even know if that's still legal. But
And when these two aren't kicking goals renovating, where do they like to hang out in SA?
me personally, I'm a real beachy kind of guy, and I love the mid-coast and the south coast of Adelaide. Dad and all that live down there now, so I just love those sort of places.
Growing up, I spent a lot of time just down at Brighton, and it's where I always go and get a coffee with the girls and go for a walk. So just anywhere along the coastline. We honestly don't really go into the city too much. We love being down this way.
Guys, thanks so much for catching up. Hopefully you can bring it home for South Australia, and let's get into some of this delicious food.
Yeah, let's. Thank you.
Cheers.
Well, that's it for today's show. I'm afraid we won't be with you next Sunday due to Seven's coverage of the footy, but we are back the following one, the 10th of June. If you want more information on any of our stories, please head to our website, or why not get in touch with us via social media? We always love to hear from you. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.